Now on the Valley today, we're following breaking news in Moorhead. Police responding to a report of shots fired on the city's south side.
And the sparks fly at the first presidential debate between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. We've got a full recap of some of the highlights.
And this morning, we're starting off our day with some sunshine once it finally rises and clear skies, but that also means some frost as well. I'll have your forecast details coming up.
Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is the Valley Today on Fargo CW.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for waking up with us. It's now just after 7 a.m. I'm Lisa Bedeau here with Kyle Bosch. And we start with breaking news this morning out of South Moorhead. Police are investigating a report of shots fired in an apartment complex early today. It happened on the 800 block of 2nd Avenue South right around 5:45 this morning. The Valley Today's Christy Larson has been live on the scene for more than an hour gathering details. Christy, what can you tell us?
Yeah, well, police say it started with a call from a tenant down in the bottom level of this apartment building, and they said that he had said a person was inside of his apartment building and shot at him or shot off in his apartment. Now, police have confirmed that it was a type of shotgun that had gone off inside of this lower apartment, and while the tenant had said at first it was pointed at his face, it was shot in a different direction than this person, and the tenant told police that a man and a woman then left. And so right now, police are still on scene. They do have some detectives inside investigating. They did go around inside of this house and make sure that neighbors were all okay. They said thankfully there was no other tenant in the lower part of this. So as of right now, they're just trying to piece together everything that happened. Police say that they are going to still be looking for this male and woman that took off inside of a white car so that they can put them into questioning too and ask them what happened and try to get more details as possible. But again, guys, just thankful that there is no one hurt here today, and the campuses around the area were notified of the situation just in case they were wondering, just like neighbors, what was going on with a police presence here in South Moorhead.
Obviously, some scary moments this morning for that neighborhood in South Moorhead, and we'll continue to follow this story throughout the day as police investigate. Christy Larson reporting live for us. Thanks, Christy. Well, also breaking for you this morning, an officer-involved shooting in the Twin Cities has left one man dead. Burnsville police say that officers responded to reports of a suicidal man at an apartment complex around 8 last night. They were told by witnesses that the man had left the building with a gun. A State Patrol helicopter used heat sensors to spot somebody near the complex. Police approached the man who they say had a weapon. One officer shot and killed the person. The Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension is investigating the incident. Time to get a first check of our weather on the Fargo CW this morning, and meteorologist Lisa Green joins us. A cool start in some parts of the valley, seeing a frost advisory again.
Yeah, frosty out there. Temperatures in the 30s in some parts of the valley. Definitely a morning to, I guess, dress appropriately, maybe put on that extra layer. You might not need that later today in some parts, but we are cool this morning. That advisory in effect for another hour until 8 o'clock, and that includes our western viewing area. Those of us in the Central Valley and the east not under the advisory. However, there could still be some patchy frost. We have temperatures that are cold enough in some spots. We're at 36 degrees in Fergus Falls. It's 39 in Crookston and 37 in Wahpeton. Fargo's at 40 and 42 in Grand Forks, 37 over in Devil's Lake. So if you got some frost to report, let us know on our Facebook page, and you can upload your photos of any frosty scenes as well to valleynewslive.com and just go to our photo gallery. So we're looking at some clear skies across much of the valley. There are some places that, once again, same trouble areas as yesterday, where we have clouds and even some rain showers working their way through this morning. So Badet, War Road, back down toward Bemidji, another one of those days where you're going to be stuck with the clouds. Breezy today too. We've had wind speeds now that aren't too bad. We've had a couple of gusts into the 20s, and they'll be picking up into this afternoon into the 20s. Not as bad as yesterday though. And our afternoon temperatures right around 5 o'clock in the low 60s and maybe even some mid 60s in places where we're getting some sunshine in eastern North Dakota and the Southern Valley. Where we've got more clouds, that's where we'll be cooler, right around 50 degrees in a couple of spots, and perhaps even some rain showers going on there. And just want to let you know, we may see some of those clouds kind of spread a little farther westward today. So places that still had the sunshine yesterday may not luck out so much today in northwest Minnesota. 63 degrees your high today. If those clouds continue to work their way in, they're really going to help us out. We're going to see some temperatures that aren't as cold overnight. However, You can see our low for tomorrow morning. That's if we are clear, and it could be another cold start to the day. More on that 7-day planner coming up.
Thank you, Lisa.
I have a feeling that by the end of this evening, I'm going to be blamed for everything that's ever happened.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah, why not? Just join the debate by saying more crazy things.
Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump squared off in their much anticipated first debate last night, and the candidates traded barbs and accusations throughout the often tense 90-minute event at New York's Hofstra University.
Topping our election 2016 coverage this morning, round one is in the books, and the head-to-head showdown between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump did not disappoint.
We're now just about 40 days until the election, and this morning the candidates are back on the campaign trail, both touting themselves as winners of that first debate. It focused on many topics that voters have heard about before.
Among the issues, the two candidates sparred over taxation, race, fighting terrorism, and nuclear policy. They also addressed the biggest scandals plaguing both campaigns.
I will release my tax returns against my lawyer's wishes when she releases her 33,000 emails that have been deleted. As soon as she releases them, I will release my tax returns.
See, and I have no reason to believe that he's ever going to release his tax returns because there's something he's hiding. And we'll keep guessing at what it might be that he's hiding. But I think the question is, were he ever to get near the White House, what would be those conflicts?
This is just the first of 3 debates. The candidates will face off again on October 9th in St. Louis.
We're working to find out if there will be any fallout after someone tweeted their personal views of last night's debate on the North Dakota Department of Health Twitter account. These screenshots show the tweets that were directed at moderator Lester Holt, including one, "Grow up hair, Lester," and "Lester needs to step up."
Other tweets included facial expressions are priceless and Trump's hair is weirder than usual. Those tweets have since been deleted. We reached out to the Department of Health for answers. We're told an employee grabbed her work phone instead of her personal phone for tweeting during the debate. Developing this morning, a 34-year-old Fargo man is set to go on trial today for the murder of a man outside a Fargo bar. Jason Owen is facing 1 count of murder and 3 counts of criminal conspiracy in the death of Joey Garsland and an assault on Garsland's wife.
Prosecutors say the attack happened in May of last year. 3 other men have already pleaded guilty in the case. Owen's trial is set to begin at 9 this morning in Fargo.
The Fargo City Commission now joins the ranks of those searching for answers as to how much the refugee resettlement program is costing the area. Commissioner Dave Pepcorn requested the topic be put on the agenda for last night's meeting.
The reason behind the request, Pepcorn says that he has 2 main questions. How much is resettlement costing the city of Fargo? And why don't city leaders have any say in who comes here or how many people come here?
The commission requested a presentation at the next meeting that they hope will answer those questions and others.
The Fargo Fire Department is investigating what caused a fire at a South Fargo apartment overnight. It happened around 9:30 on the 3300 block of 31st Avenue South.
Firefighters were able to put out the flames fairly quickly and stopped it before spreading. No one was hurt. There's no word yet on a damage estimate. Authorities are warning you to be cautious around train tracks. A man is recovering from injuries after the semi he was driving was hit by a train yesterday.
It happened near Dwight, North Dakota. Investigators say the 30-year-old driver, Mohammed Hussein, was heading east on County Road 10. He saw the train as he was approaching the crossing, but couldn't stop in time. Officials say it is nearly impossible for trains to make sudden stops. Now, there was damage to the train and the semi. At least one of the cars was also knocked off the tracks. Maple Valley school voters once again narrowly rejected a school bond issue. The $14.3 million bond needed 60% support to pass.
You can see how close it came. 493 yes, 332 no. That's 59.76% in favor. The vote was held last night, but the results weren't finalized until last night because officials were waiting for absentee ballots.
A lot of people study energy-efficient labels on new TVs, but there's some conflicting information about how those claims actually match up to how you use the TV in your home. And it could be costing people billions of dollars. Just ahead, we've got an investigation